Okay guys, here we are. Got my colors all mixed up today, and this is my 30 by 40 canvas. It's a large canvas, and I'm doing sort of a similar color scheme as this one over here that I did a while back, just like a week or two ago. But I'm using more blue, as you can see here. I'll go over my colors in just a moment. I'm going to also pour them a little bit differently than last time. I'm just going to empty each cup as we go. Now, the blue, I'm going to put a little bit of white in between, and then the rest of the white on top before I add the rest of that. And of course, I'll start with the white as well. So I'll be going pretty much in this order. This is Bright Copper, if you remember, that's Dazzling Metallics. This is Champagne by Got a Deal. And this is Brown Pearl by Got a Deal. Now, this was like a midnight blue from Deco Arts Americana, there we go. And I added a little bit of white Dazzling Metallics, White Pearl in there. And this is a mishmash of Artist Loft Acrylic Flow Yellow, blue, some Cerulean Blue by Got a Deal, and some white by Artist Loft Soft Body White. So it's sort of a turquoise blue. Yeah, so I added a little bit more blue because it had a little bit more green in it that I was happy with to start with. This is Champagne Gold, and that's Dazzling Metallics, and Folk Art, one of my favorite colors, and that is Bronze. And this is white, Artist Loft Soft Body White, with a little bit of Dazzling Metallics Pearl White added in there to give a little bit of sparkle and shine. So I'm gonna double check my edges and corners. I have a couple of levels. Here's one, here's my old one. So I have a strange question for you guys, because my levels aren't level, if that makes sense. And I'm trying to figure out to make sure that my canvas is completely level. Can levels lose their ability to level? Maybe I should Google that. Anyway, last but not least, there's my black dump paint, Artist Loft Soft Body Black. And just as a reminder, all of these are mixed the same. The paints that go into my colander are mixed 1 part paint, 3 to 4 parts Floetrol, a drizzle of Liquitex pouring medium, and water to thin. And my dump paint is mixed a little bit differently, but it's 1 part paint, 4 to 6, 4 to 7 parts Floetrol, just depends, drizzle of Liquitex pouring medium, and water to thin. And that's about it. Okay, enough jabbering here. Let me just double check my consistencies and make sure my canvas is as level as I think it's going to be, and paint the corners and edges. We'll get started. Okay, here we are. Let's get started. First, let's say hello to everybody out there with my blue jazz hands. I want to let you know that I did Google that levels can lose their ability to be level. So I'm struggling with the 2 levels that I have, but I think it's going to work out just fine. So we'll start with that white that has a little bit of blue in it on the bottom. And again, I'm stacking this pretty similarly that I did my last pour, which was called Desert Sky. However, I'm using a little bit less brown, so there's that dark brown, that's in a 4-ounce cup. And then that dark blue. I love this turquoise blue that I came up with. I think it's really pretty. I wanted to push that out of the colander. As you can see, the streaks are starting to come out. Rest of the white. So that champagne gold color. Bright copper. And just finishing up the rest of the cups. Always before you do any type of pour, just double check your consistencies of your paints, because if they've been sitting for a while, you want to make sure that they are all the same consistency. Sometimes I have to add water before I get ready for the final pour. In this case, I think the black paint looked good, so that was nice. Some pretty colors there. So here we go. So we're going to tilt to the lower left, then to the lower right, and then to the upper right, and then back down to the lower left. You can see the cells starting to come up on the edge of the canvas, which is always a good sign. Just sort of moving the paints back a little bit. surveying the land, making sure everything looks okay. I can start to see some streaks coming in. And there's all the color coming in. Okay, let's do the walkthrough in just a second. Okay guys, here I am about an hour and a half. I let this do its thing. I'm really happy with this. It's a little more subtle than I thought it was going to be, but I love the color. Sort of the greenish turquoise and blue. And of course, I think some of that gold mixed in to make it a little bit more green. The negative space is cool too. I am not going to take out the edge. I'm going to leave this as it is, but I might go in and trim back a few pearls. You can see some big ones along the edge there, but just look at the details. It's really kind of fascinating looking. It looks like scales. Yeah, I didn't get much of the copper. Got a little bit right over there. But overall, I'm liking it a lot. So I'm thinking it's pretty much going to dry as is. And what I'll do is I'll go in once it's dry and I'll show you what I'm going to do. And yeah, then I think we've got a finished painting. Okay, guys, hold on. I'm going to let this dry overnight and I'll catch up with you the next day. Hey guys, I'm back. It's the next day. Things have dried up. And yeah, I just want to show you up close. There's a lot of interesting aspects. I really like these lines. It looks like that's that brown. I don't know why it did that, but that's okay. I really think that this is going to varnish really well because you can see all of the gold. Got some copper. Yeah, a lot of color. I know it's kind of, you know, what's the right word? It's sort of monochromatic-ish, but it's subtle, and that's what I like about it. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to clean up. Well, I say clean up. I shouldn't say clean up. I'm just going to trim back some of these pearls just to round them. I'm not going to do anything else. I don't think it needs anything else. I think we're pretty much set. So I'm going to set my camera up. You can watch me do my magic, and I'll show you the final dry results. Okay, guys, I'm back on the canvas here to do some touch-ups. I didn't have to do a whole lot on this painting, but I wanted to trim back some of the pearls so that they looked not so elongated in certain areas. Now, some of them up against the negative space, it's okay if they're not perfect. The idea is just to clean it up a little bit and to sort of be consistent. Now the colors looked really nice up against the negative space, so I was really happy there with the blues and some of that copper and gold. So as you can see, this section here, if you continue to the right, you can see sort of how elongated some of those pearls are. And so I just wanted to cut them back a little bit, trim them back. There again, I'm all over the place. Now, I didn't take anything out towards the negative space on this one. I mean, towards the edge on this one with the negative space. I left it as is and just trimmed up some of the pearls. So I took a lot off of these, you can see, and I took that one pearl out, which I sort of regretted later, but that's okay. I think what's important sometimes is to make sure that you curve your pearls so they look a little bit more natural. And one of those really narrow tipped brushes really helps. So just going through some basic touch-ups at this point, not a whole lot more. It just looks a little bit cleaner. Again, just some little touch-ups. You can barely see that in the upper screen there. Okay, let's get ready to look at the final dried results. Okay, friends, we are done. I just did a little bit of trimming on the pearls that are around the negative space. I didn't really take a whole lot out, if at all, actually. So yeah, I'm really happy. These colors look really good. They look better close up, as you can see. Now, that little splotchiness through here will disappear once I varnish, so don't worry about that. You won't see it. But yeah, just again, show you some of the detail. I'm going to try to get a good picture. It's sort of early and the light is kind of off, but yeah, there we have it. Okay, friends, thanks so much for watching. I will be doing a new one soon. It's going to be similar to this, but of course it's fluid art, so things never turn out the same way. But I'm going to be using maybe some red, some sort of red where you see the blue. We'll see how that works. Okay, friends, thanks for watching, and we'll see you real soon.